The age-old generational debate, who has it worst? I know the baby boomers have lists as long as their arms, but our next guest says Gen Z has it the toughest of them all.
Finally, and here to explain himself is businessman and 3AW host Russell Howcroft from Sydney. Hey, Rusty, how you doing?
Hey, you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Pleasure.
All right, so why do you reckon Gen Z has it so tough?
Well, they do. So let's just say if you're a 30-year-old and you wanting to buy a house, it's probably going to... So if you're a 30-year-old earning average Australian income, it's probably 8 times your average Australian income, 8 times plus for the price of a house. You're taxed pretty heavily if you've had an education, tertiary education. You know what, in the last 15 years, your HECS has doubled. So 15 years ago, paying HECS, probably paying $15,000 a year, now paying $30,000. And I tell you what, a boomer, when a boomer was aged 30, they were paying half the tax what a 30-year-old pays now.
Yeah.
So I think there's plenty of evidence to suggest that it's not that easy. And look, those of us that know 30-year-olds, I think we would recognise that they find it very hard. Cost of living, of course, is we're all dealing with that. But as you're reaching your early 30s, maybe you want to partner up, you maybe want to start a family. It's not that easy. It's genuinely not that easy.
Look, you work with one of the great Gen Z people in the world, Ross, in the mornings on 3AW. Does he concur with you?
Yeah, well, he of course has got some sons in their 20s. I've got children in their 20s, and so we get to see what it's like for them. And look, there are plenty of people that are earning, you know, a gross salary now of say 75 to 100,000 in the year 2024. The same position would be earning 75 to 100,000 dollars 30 years ago, right?
Yeah.
There's been, in some industries, there's been very little real wage growth. Journalism, for example, would be one.
I know, but the argument that you always hear from boomers too, Rusty, is, oh, we had interest rates at 17,100%, and these guys these days you have them at 4%. I mean, how much was a house worth back then than it is
no
now?
laughing
it's
matter.
ridiculous. Oh, come on.
Well, you know, there was a point that the interest rates were outrageous. That's very true. But if you go to 1975, interest rates were 9%, still more than we've got now. But yeah, we can always grab a big number to tell the story. I think that just the reality is, if you are today's 30-year-old, it is tougher. That's just the truth of it.
Yep.
The boomers all had their education for free, for starters.
Yeah.
Houses cost like 90 grand back then as well. It's just crazy. Anyway.
Right.
Well, it's just
Yeah, that's
Sarah,
right.
really on the side of the boomers.
3 times. So
I love you, boomers.
yeah,
I love you.
yes,
Gen
of
Z, I'm
course.
here for you.
Well, if you were a boomer, if you're a boomer buying your first home, it's probably 3 times. You know, 3 times. So if you're earning, say, 75, well, probably 40,000, 50,000 average salary, 150 grand, you can get yourself into an apartment or into a house.
Yeah.
Well, that of course is just not possible now.
No, exactly right.
Well, you're a smart man. You know what you're talking about.
He does.
I love you. I love Ross. Probably a little bit more, but only because we bet together.
You got to get on the horses with him, Rusty. That's what he's saying. All right, mate. Good to see you.
Thanks, champion.
Thanks
Next
so
up.
much. Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh, my goodness. Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?